Start ready back to the bag.
Roger, Ike. Next, we're going to drive mic 14 and 13. So this will be the right upper strut to the mounting bracket.
Bravo 3, clockwise to 8. Bravo 3, clockwise to.
Affirmative.
Right this west. I'm in a non-optimal position. Put it in. The good position would be where Ike and the triangle are. So I'm fighting against this spring here. And I think probably leave it in at 10 and close it later when I can get in a better position.
Okay, Kate, that sounds like a good plan. So we'll just have you follow your translation back around, your translation path back around the IEA and to the inboard aspect of the bag next to Ike.
Doing my BRT route.
Rubens and Glover side by side working on two different tasks. Glover, you see from helmet camera number 20 here, is driving those final bolts. He did install 2 of the 3 sides of this triangle, just working on the bolts on that final side. In the meantime, Rubens is trying to get a good configuration to secure that portable foot restraint to its worksite interface location, temporary stowed position, so it's easily accessible next spacewalk.
On the torque, M14, black line flush.
Copy 19 turns, 18.4 green light, black line flush. And you can push to mic 13, same settings.
Good work. Okay, 19 turns, 18.4 green light, black line flush.
Okay, understand 19, 18.4 green light, black line flush for mic 13.
That's correct.
Okay, those are both 2 good bolts. Mic 13 and mic 14 are both 2 good bolts.
About to enter into an orbital sunrise. You'll start to see the views here get a little bit brighter. We can see some of the work that Glover has been doing to construct this triangle. That sun should illuminate his work a little bit better. Also, we should get a better view of Kate Rubin's work to temporarily stow the portable foot restraint. Though from this particular angle, we are having some ratty coverage with her helmet camera.
Yes, I did visual of you.
From the pause temperature.
All right, guys, strong work. Now we're transitioning to tying down the triangle on top of the IEA. But first, I'll take a glove, hap, and gauntlet check. I'll start with you, Ike.
Hap is dry. Gauntlets are in place. The red glove looks good.
Inward, please.
My left index finger got a part where the RTV is missing. Let me get some better light on it. It's some weird lighting right now. Right at the intersection of the second and third digit or joint and the independent outboard side, closest to my thumb. The RTV is missing. It looks like a small hole in the RTV, in the fabric.
Standing by on your check.
Okay, Ike, we copy and we see at least part of that on the WVS. You can go ahead and just take as much time as you need to do a proper inspection on that.
If you're with us.
So Craig, I can't tell if there's a hole in the fabric or if that's just the fabric, the weave of the fabric. I'm thinking it's the weave of the fabric. Spot under the RTV where I can see it clearly.
Okay, we copy, Ike.
When Kate gets over here, maybe I can show you and heck up.
Okay.
What I suggest for yourself.
And for my glove check.
Yep, and that's exactly what we were thinking, Ike.
Nominal. That's exactly what we were thinking, Ike. Nominal. Cause the RTV peeling on the right middle finger, dry half, and I'll head over to Ike.
Copy, Kate.
You want inboard and then down the IEA?
Affirmative.
Frank, are we going to use a long duration pat-down tether on this? And if so, I can maybe pinstill one now.
We are, Ike. We're going to use both long duration tie-down tethers.
Where? To the mounting bracket or to the handrails?
Yep, and correction, we're actually going to use 3 long duration tie-downs. Ike, disregard last. It'll just be 2 long duration tie-down tethers, and they will be on each of the handrails on the upper struts.
Oh, probably.
I am to your left.
Copy. See you.
Nearing the 6-hour mark into today's spacewalk. Glover has completed the construction of that upper bracket. His next task will be to go ahead and secure that upper triangle to the truss of the International Space Station. It won't be installed on the mast canister for this spacewalk, but it will be easily accessible and already constructed, ready to go for the next spacewalk coming up March 5th. And you can see just beyond that upper triangle, the portable foot restraint is stowed in its position. That was the work that Kate Rubens did just a little earlier.
You Hector on my left hand?
Yep, I'm pointing it.
I don't know where to move it to, so I'm just going to hold still.
Yep, you just hold still and you. Sound should have a view. Can you confirm?
Yep, it's the finger is centered on the camera. Can you just get get your hand closer to the camera, Ike?
I'm bringing the camera closer to the finger.
That works too.
Maybe a little down for the light. Okay. Frank, I think that's fabric. If you look at the bottom of that digit, you see some bigger spaces in the fabric. It just stands out because it's in that center of the hole in the RTV, gap in the RTV.
Okay, Ike, so we'll, I think we have as good a view as we're going to get. We'll just attempt to minimize that hand, minimize the use of that hand as we finish up the tie down and clean up, and then head back to the airlock.
Copy.
Engineers here in Mission Control Houston taking a look at Victor Glover's left glove.
The upper triangle on top of the IEA. I'll kind of walk you in. The center pad is going to be facing outboard, and the bracket is going to be facing inboard with the hooks pointing up. The triangle is going to be centered on the middle battery in the middle row of batteries. So the triangle is essentially sitting smack in the middle of the IEA with the bracket facing inboard.
Okay, copy.
So that triangle will essentially sit right on top of the lithium-ion batteries that make up the interface of the electronics assembly that they're referencing. This is pretty close to the work site for the next spacewalk. They have the proper configuration. And they'll just, the next step will be to just tie it down.
The bag, that should get us all the way to the center of the IEA. Okay, Frank, hooks up, and was it center pad outboard or center pad inboard?
The center pad is outboard, and the bracket is inboard.
Okay, so it's going to sit like this, Kate.
Uh-huh.
It's going to sit, let's see. Center pad
Center pad's
outboard.
got to be outboard, so 180, but...
This is the center pad.
Oh, thank you, sorry.
So it's going to be like this on that battery.
I gotcha.
And, see if I can go over there. Let's see, where are we going to hook it?
Yep, so Ike, your description was correct. And on the side nearest to you, so on the forward aspect, it'll be on handrail 5353. And on the aft aspect, it'll be on the opposite handrail 5306.
We've got a 5355. It's not 53.
Where, can you tell us where that 5353 might be?
Yeah, sorry guys, we had an incorrect number here, so it's 5350 is what you're looking for on the forward aspect.
I've got that.
Okay. So we're going to need to extend those long duration side-on tethers.
Mm-hmm. On 5350, you have a preference for outboard or inboard expansion, the line bus?
No preference, Kate.
All right. Hey, Frank, am I folding up the bag on the 2 Bravo side?
Ike, we will be folding up that bag. We'll just finish this side together and then have you translate down there to pick up that bag. Guys, we have a handover in about 10 seconds. I'll see you on the other side.
All right.
Once again, another handover of some of the video coming down from the International Space Station. Rubens and Glover are tying down the constructed upper triangle that makes up the modification kit of the 4B channel, power channel.
So, and then go get it.
Okay, I'll stay here with the tether is on it. It's on the handrail.
I see. Yeah, you're just going to have to pass that to me.
Absolutely. I'll extend it, and then I'll pitch this thing down to you.
Yeah.
And guys, I'm back with you. On the opposite, on the aft side of the IEA, you'll be looking for handrail 5349.
Copy 5349 on the opposite side of the IEA. I'm headed there. Ike's going to hand it to me across the IEA.
Copy, Kate.
Back on board the International Space Station, this is Victor Glover handling the upper triangle. Rubens has made her way to the other side of the integrated electronics assembly to get a good handle on the other side of that upper triangle. She's going to help to tie down the upper triangle to the integrated electronics assembly right on top of the batteries. Keep it in a nice tied down stowed position ready to access in the next spacewalk. We're now a little over 6 hours into today's spacewalk.
This was not as easy to extend.
Okay.
Give me a second.
No problem.
All right, hooks up, center pad out forward. I only got about a foot and a half of it out.
I'll get the rest. Actually, that might be fine.
It looks like you've got plenty.
For now. All right, Frank, I have second long duration tied down tether to 5349.
Copy 5349. That's a good handrail number.
Would you like us to cinch these together simultaneously? I need to do this one.
Affirmative, Kate. Cinching them together will work best to cinch it down properly.
Okay. Well, hold on. I'm not ready.
Yeah, me neither. Don't worry.
And Ike, you may also have to close the bag before you cinch it down to get proper.
wrapped around your left foot.
What's around my left?
Long duration right on the other now. So your feet are kind of in a bad spot. If you swing them inboard, more in line with the handrails, perfect. Huh? Okay, I've got the strap in hand and we're in a good orientation.
Okay.
When you're ready to cinch, I'm ready to cinch.
I am as well. Go
Hey,
slow.
Ike, before you guys cinch down, we will need that bag closed, and so you have the best essay there, whether you need to do that before or after you cinch down.
Not sure what you said. If it's about the bag lid, I'll get that in a minute. I'm not worried about the bag lid.
Okay, copy. That's fine.
Okay, we got a lot of slack.
Yep. And to pull it evenly. A bit more. Are you done cinching?
Say again?
Are you done?
I don't know. How tight do we want it?
Well, I think if we go at the same time, we can get it down pretty tight.
I mean, just go until we can't pull.
Yeah.
It's pretty good now. I've also got to be able to close the buckle. I don't think we want to.
Okay. Sure.
Hey, Kate, from what we're seeing on the HECA, it looks like the strap might have come out of the alignment on the top metal there. On the bottom side of the buckle, you'll have to feed that strap.
Mine did too.
Both Rubens and Glover working with long-duration tie-down tethers. This will help secure that upper triangle to the integrated electronics assembly right on top of the lithium-ion batteries. That will be its stowed position for the next few days until they're able to go out again on March 5th. Rubens will head out the hatch with Soichi Noguchi to conduct the next spacewalk. This will be one of the first items on their agenda to dismount the upper triangle and install it onto the mast canister of the 4B power channel.
Nice job. Good hand dexterity there.
Hey, you threaded how many bolts by hand today?
All right, guys, so while you're working on that, just want to let you know we are at 6 hours and 11 minutes of PET. EV2 battery is still the limiting consumable at 7 hours and 52 minutes. And again, the plan is here to close 4B, pick up the bag at 2B, and then head back and ingress.
Copy. All right, for this tether, do you need it MLI over the buckle? Do you need any of the strap in? It goes on the outside with the wire cutter.
Yep, Kate, so you'll want to close the thermal cover, fold up the strap on top of it, and then use the wire tie on top of that.
Thanks.
So again, securing the upper triangle to the integrated electronics assembly. This was constructed ahead of time in preparation for a spacewalk next Friday to continue the work of installing the modification kits for future solar array upgrades. This is the last item on the task list today. After this, they'll clean up their work site on the 4B channel, wrap around to the other side on the 2B channel where they spent most of their time today, pick up the strut bag that carried the struts needed to install the modification kit. They'll pick that up and bring it back to the airlock to complete today's spacewalk. Now 6 hours, 13 minutes into today's spacewalk.
And Frank, big picture, we'll take that.
Yep, Kate, that looks like a good tie down on the upper triangle, and so you'll translate back around to the other side of the IEA. We'll finish closing up the bag up here on the 4 Bravo side, and then Ike will translate down to the 2 Bravo side and fold up the bag there, and then we'll head in and ingress.
Okay, you want us to both work on one bag at a time, or do you want me to go work on the 2 Bravo bag? The strap is disconnected. The lead straps are disconnected.
It's your preference at this point, Ike, but yeah, we think, Kate, if you're okay with it, finish closing up this bag. I can head down and start folding up the other bag.
You good with that?
Yep.
Okay. See you shortly.
So that wraps up the tasks for today. They completed the tie down of that upper bracket to the integrated electronics assembly. Now it's ready to access for the next spacewalk. Now they'll just divide and conquer. You can see Victor Glover already on his way to the other side, to the 2B channel, already at the empty bag. This carried the struts needed to install the modification kit on the 2B power channel, which they completed earlier in the spacewalk. Rubens will remain on the other side and just wrap up and close the bag on the 4B side. That bag will remain on the truss. Glover will go ahead and close up this bag on the 2B side since it is empty and take it back in with him. The modification kit on the 2B power channel is in a good configuration. They may go back and just take a look at some of the bolts on a later spacewalk, but for now it's in a good configuration, can handle the loads given on the space station with attitude control and all of that. In the meantime, they'll just wrap up today's activities and head back in to conclude today's EVA.
And Ike, just for your essay, PGT number 8 should be in bag number 2. We just want to make sure that that's off before it gets stowed.
Copy. It is OFF. Strip bag 2.
Copy off. And Ike, as you're closing up the 2 Bravo bag, we got a really good inventory through here WVS, but we only see 1 camera. Just want to verify you see 2 cameras.
Cameras, the other one's on the opposite side of the one you can see.
Okay, copy. Understand. Thanks.
No problem.
Hey, Frank, I got straps Alpha through Delta and cinched down.
Copy, Kate. And that looks like a good config.
Okay. Give me a survey.
Okay, and so Kate, that looks like a good config on the 4 Bravo bag. You can head back towards your green hook.
Copy. How are you doing, Ike? Do you need any help?
That's all the help you want to give, but go ahead, do your green hook, and I'll be behind you shortly.
Okay. NASA P6.
See ya.
So a quick recap, the astronauts are completing their tasks for today. You see from the helmet camera of Victor Glover.
What we were seeing, your space bag folding skills are pretty solid.
Thank you, sir.
This is the empty bag that carried out the struts where he and NASA astronaut Kate Rubins constructed the modification kit on the 2B power channel. He's going to take that empty bag back with him to the airlock. Rubins is already on her way. She checked out the portable foot restraint, looked good in a good configuration. The bag was all closed with all the tools that they'll need for the next spacewalk. Now they're just going to go ahead and head back to the airlock and conclude today's spacewalk.
Slightly outboard and wait for Ike. You'll be leading on the way back to the airlock.
Okay. Copy. I will head later. Got my safety tether pack reassembled. Ike's green hook.
Copy, Kate.
All right, Fruit by the Foot is done. I'm going to get this pumped up on my BOT and hit back.
Looks good to us, Ike.
A great view of the port truss on the far left side. You can see Victor Glover wrapping up his procedures. He's just folding up the bag. He's going to tie it to his body restraint tether and take it with him all the way back to the airlock. In the meantime, Kate Rubens, you see off to the right, she's in the suit with the red stripes. She's just hanging on, waiting for Victor Glover to finish up. She's already finished her tasks, making sure the foot restraint is secured, and as well as the triangle bracket, the upper triangle, secured to the International Space Station. Both of them have completed their tasks for today and are heading back to the airlock to wrap up today's activities. The two of them successfully installed a modification kit to the 2B power channel. You can see it on the mast canister over there on the far side, kind of where Victor Glover is. It's the white structure in front of the mast canister. That's the soda can looking structure at the base of the solar arrays. That modification kit will house a future solar array upgrade. IROSA solar arrays will be deployed from that modification kit. Right now, that modification kit is in a good configuration. Teams on the ground will assess to make sure it's good to go. They can also address it on a later spacewalk if needed. But the primary task for the next spacewalk on March 5th will be to duplicate the efforts that we saw today on the 2B power channel. They'll just do it on the other side, on the 4B power channel, sort of at the bottom left of your screen.
You'll be heading to 5309 to retrieve your green hook.
Copy.
And Kate, we lost Hecka. If you're able to recycle power, we appreciate it.
Yeah, does that work?
Okay.
Hey, I see you. I will down in. Frank, did you get Hecka back?
Okay, we copied and we're checking the config now.
Okay. And I'm going to head in or wait for Ike to say put it back.
And Ike, after you pick up your green hook, if you can check on that glove real quick, and then you guys can initiate your translation back to the airlock.
All right, take the tether back. Next to normal, both wheels unlocked. No change from the previous report.
Copy, Ike. Okay, we copy.
Give me just a second. Get ahead of you here.
And with
just for your essay, we have about 10 minutes left on this day pass.
And with that, their work is done. You see Victor Glover on the left there with an empty bag in tow. That bag carried the struts you see off to the left there. At the mast canister at the base of the solar array is the white structure covered in multi-layer insulation. They completed their tasks for today, and Kate Rubins and Victor Glover both making their way along the port truss back to the Quest airlock to wrap up today's activities. They have about 10 minutes of daylight left. We might see the sunset as they enter the Quest airlock and conclude today's spacewalk. Rubins taking the lead as Glover trails back to the Quest airlock. The two spacewalking astronauts on the International Space Station are flying 270 statute miles over the South Atlantic Ocean, about to cross into an orbital nighttime.
Hey, Kate?
Yeah.
Never mind, I can get it for you. I think this is your safety tether.
Oh, did it grab on something?
It's from...
Pause.
Okay, should be coming back to you. Oh, now I caught on my safety tether.
Nice catch on that, Ike.
See it. You got the brake pedal, Rick?
I will, yes. Okay, Frank, crossing under the port seat cart. If you get on the inboard side, I'll hit those brakes twice.
Okay, copy. Good words, Ike. And that's for both the port and starboard seat brakes.
Good presses. And that works a lot better than in the pool.
Roger, Ike.
Right, inboard of the seat cart.
Cross CMT on the starboard seat of cart. Now I'm at my safety tether anchor. Continuing inboard.
Tad easier without EV3 and EV4.
A tad.
A tad.
Okay, enough. Start with city cart, brake pedal, 1, 2.
We copy. Thanks, Ike. And Ike, before you head down the Cedar Spur, we want you to verify that both safety tethers are clear of the MT path.
Copy.
The top of the Cedar Spur.
Visual. Okay, Frank. The safety tethers are meter of phase 1. And when we both go down the Cedar Spur, they'll be kind of snugged up like a little fair lead off the covered lab strut. And I believe that keeps them clear of the MT translations up.
We copy, Ike, and we concur. And as a reminder, you will be ingressing the airlock first, Ike.
I'm going to just head aft, make room for him.
Great views as the two astronauts make their way to the Quest airlock. You see on the right there, Rubens is already there. She's the suit with the red stripes. Glover trailing very shortly behind. Rubens will need to move out of the way to make sure Glover ingresses first. He's got the task as the EV2 position to enter this airlock first. Rubens will enter shortly after Glover, and she has the task of closing the hatch. The spacewalk will officially end when repressurization begins.
You guys have a go for opening the hatch thermal cover.
Cover's open.
And Ike, you can stow the strut bag bundle on the large, small airlock ret.
Good.
Think you ready to copy waste tethers?
We're ready.
On my left steering extender. Waste tether, gate closed, slider locked, black on black. Into the second waste tether at the airlock. First one, gate closed, slider locked, black on black. Second, gate closed, slider locked, black on black. Airlock gearing extender, gate closed, slider locked, black on black.
And Kate, that is a good load path for EV1.
Copy.
You see from the helmet camera of Victor Glover, as the EV2 position, it's his job to work on this interface. Well, they'll connect themselves to station power and water once again, and switch some valves to not rely on the suit's battery power anymore.
And the bag is on the airlock, correct, or small.
Okay, that is a good config for you, Ike. Kate, you can turn off your HECA and verify green LED is off. Sorry, should have read you that while Ike was still available.
Set, I got a mirror. All right, HECA's off, green LED is off.
We copy, Kate. All right, Kate, once you get a go from Ike, you can move EV2 yellow hook to EV1 red reel.
Okay, you have a go.
I copy your go. My red reel. Okay, I see my red reel spring. You got this. And I think got to wait for the airlock.
Black on black. Good full test. You'll go.
Low hook. On EV1 red reel. Yellow hook gate closed, slider lock, black on black.
Copy, that's a good secondary load path. Kate, now you can move EV2 green hook to aft external D-ring.
Copy. And I guess I'm pulling you a little.
It's okay. I can come back out a little if you need.
And Kate, we're going to have a handover in about 10 seconds. So Ike's green hook will go to the aft external D-ring. Your green hook will go to the forward external D-ring.
Copy.
Another short handover in video and audio coming from station. We should be regaining that shortly. In these final moments, Glover is already in the airlock. He is ready to switch some of the valves to and connect the suits back to station power, water, and air. Rubens is busy reconfiguring those tethers, making sure they're all in a good configuration before she enters the airlock as well. It'll be her job to close the hatch and seal it, make sure everything's good before they begin the repressurization and conclude today's spacewalk. Upon the start of repressurization, that will officially end today's spacewalk.
My green hook is to the forward steering, gate closed, slider lock, black on black.
Okay. I copy, Kate. That is a good config. As you ingress, can you please verify that the hatch pit pin is in place?
start cam.
And then you will move your EV1 yellow hook to the mini workstation and ingress the airlock.
Copy. Right, EV1 yellow hook going to my mini workstation.
Copy.
And that is not a good config. I have EV2 yellow hook to my mini workstation. All right, can you just pause here and I need a EV2 yellow hook.
You just let it go to me, I'll take it. I've got a good safety chain and I'll come in with my red reel.
Okay.
Yep, I've got it. So once you're good, you have it go to ingress. What? Sorry.
Yep. Okay, we copied all of that. Good catch. You do have your own load path to the airlock, and so you still are in a good config.
Yep, and I've got my yellow hook on my mini workstation. I guess you can see my feet hanging.
As the sun sets on the International Space Station, Kate Rubins entering the Quest airlock, getting ready to conclude today's spacewalk.
Get that in a second. And I can move my feet later.
You're trying to move your feet later?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I think I've got a good. I've got a good pin check. Getting the thermal cover.
Copy, pin check and thermal cover. Okay, we see the thermal cover closed, and you can attach the Velcro strap.
Negative. Not quite yet. Thermal cover is closed. Ready for your next.
Okay, for both of you, you will remove SUs from storage pouch, remove DCM covers and Velcro to DCM, and connect the SUs to your DCMs.
Copy.
With the thermal cover to the station's airlock closed, Frank Rubio will finish up his role as the ground IV by walking the crew through the initial pre-repressurization steps. He'll do this until handing back over to Soichi Noguchi, who's standing by in the station's equipment airlock. Noguchi will walk them through the repressurization sequence after this set of pre-repressurization tasks.
Copy. SUs locked for both. For both. Switch water off. Which is forward. Expect H2O is off message.
V1, water off.
TV2.
Okay, caution. Do not close hatch until EMU water off for 2 minutes. We started our timer.
And Ike, for closing the hatch, I'm heading towards you. I don't know if you can see my feet. Need some more clearance.
Give me a chance to let me move for a second.
Okay.
Go back the other way.
Okay.
Okay, which way are you going to rotate your cliff? Because if I can avoid your cliff, there's plenty of room. Want to be aft or forward?
I'll be forward. The cliff.
Okay. Oh, okay. You want to be forward?
Yeah, that's where the good handrail is.
Okay. Are my feet out of the way?
Yep. And my plus is zenith.
Okay, my plus is rotated station forward, and I am port as far as I can go.
That's good clearance. For you, I can verify tools and tethers are clear at the airlock. Got eyes on my depress repress key card. And no tools, tethers off the hatch.
Copy, Kate. All right, Kate, 2 minutes is up. You have a go for closing and locking the hatch.
Soichi Noguchi there at the hatch window, looking at his crewmates on the other side who are concluding their spacewalk. He'll take the lead as the suit IV, guiding them through the repressurization procedures and eventually opening the hatch and bringing them in the equipment lock to doff or take off their suits. You see Mike Hopkins in the foreground there, checking over some of the upcoming procedures. He'll be aiding Noguchi through some of these next tasks. Frank Rubio taking the lead as the repressurization tasks. He'll be handing over to Noguchi shortly.
That's my foot.
Still getting a little bit of video from inside of the crew lock. This is Kate Rubens working through her procedures to close the hatch. There it goes.
Just closed. Can you move your feet up
Please.
a little bit? And Mike, you don't need gouge on. Still closed. I can only get about half a turn on the handle.
Yeah, that handle does not turn far.
Okay.
If you can pull it up, though, it's not closed. So you got to make sure it's flush before you rotate. Get it flush, and it has a mechanism that will pull it down. So make sure it's all the way in the inlet, because it only travels like one turn.
Okay. Much.
Make sure it's flush, and then pull, see if it moves at all. If it's flash, it won't move.
It does not.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
And then lock the. Yep.
Gotcha. All right, hatch is closed and much.
Nice job.
All right, great job, guys. Okay, Ike, on the UIA, check oxygen, EMU, 1 and 2 valves, 2 valves open.
Oxygen EMU1 open, oxygen EMU2 open.
Switch power, EV 1 and 2, 2 switches on, ON.
EMU1 power on, good LED. EMU2 power on, EV2 power on, good LED.
Copy. Good LEDs. Check power, EV 1 and 2 volts, 18.0 to 19.0.
18.6 times 18.6 times 2.
Copy. For both, switch power to SCU. Expect warning tone.
Power SCU.
EV2.
All right, guys. Great job out there. I'll turn you over to Soichi, and really appreciate your hard work. I know there's a lot of challenges, but the team really appreciates it.
Hey, Frank, you were awesome. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much, and thanks to the entire IROSA team.
Thanks, Frank. Thanks, Anna. Great working with you guys today.
And sorry, I do have one delta. Like just when you said that, Frank, I lost in my left ear cup. I still got it in my right.
Copy.
I can hear that, EV2.
I hear you. And Frank, thanks for the great work. From here, Soichi will take over for crew lock repress. Both EV1, EV2, how do you hear me?
Soichi, I've got you loud and clear in my right ear.
EV2 loud and clear.
Okay, EV2, EV1, EV2, DCM, auto act to press.
E2. Okay, you with us?
I'm sorry. Ear cup may be an ear block in my left ear. Do that right now.
Okay,
Okay,
EV1,
EV,
auto actuator to press.
Okay, yeah. You hear Soichi?
I can. And that pin works.
Okay.
V1 O2 actuator to press.
Copy EV1, EV2, copy of press. And EV1, check, EV hatch MPEG closed.
EV hatch MPEG is closed.
Copy. And both EV and EV2, we're going to start equalizing the pressure. If you feel the speed is too fast, please say so.
Yeah. And Luigi, for your awareness, I've got already an ear block in my left ear, I think.
Copy. We make it minimum opening.
So I'm good with going ahead and bringing it up, and I'll tell you if there's an issue.
EV and EV2 just started open the throttle at 1840, 1816.
Copy. Luigi, I've still got good variability in my left ear.
Copy EV1.
Luigi's actually feeling a little better with the increased pressure. We're going in the right direction.
Copy EV1. Good to hear.
This is Mission Control, Houston. We do have confirmation repressurization is underway. The clock stopped for today's spacewalk at 7 hours 4 minutes, concluding at 12:16 p.m. Central Time. Repressurization is slow and steady, about 0.7 psi right now. They will climb up to 5 psi before performing a hold and a check to make sure the pressure is holding before resuming pressurization up to equalize with the International Space Station just above 14 psi.
EV1, EV2, only if you're comfortable, I can increase the weight. How do you think?
Go for a moderate increase.
EV2. Good, how about EV2? Yeah, is it okay to increase the weight?
EV2.
Yeah, EV1, EV2 just past 2 psi. We're going to increase a little bit.
Okay, no problem.
It's okay.
EV1 is good. EV2 good?
EV2.
That's doing good things for my ear block.
That's good.
Again, repressurization is underway. It's slow and steady. We're at about 3 pounds per square inch, and we'll pause at 5. Hold pressure and make sure that the inside of the crew lock is holding pressure before resuming up to equalize with the International Space Station. In the meantime, we do have statistics for you based on today's 7-hour, 4-minute spacewalk. This was the 235th spacewalk in support of station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades. It was the third conducted in 2021, the fourth spacewalk for Expedition 64. For Kate Rubins, this is the third spacewalk in her career. Her career total is now 19 hours, 50 minutes, 50 minutes. This is also the third spacewalk of Victor Glover's career. His total 19 hours, 20 minutes. Today's spacewalk lasted 7 hours, 4 minutes, beginning 5:12 a.m. Central, ending 12:16 p.m. Central Time. And the total spacewalking time for all 235 spacewalks aboard the International Space Station come out at 61 days, 4 hours, and 11 minutes. This was also the first time an HD camera was used on a spacewalk. Some of those views provided from the helmet camera of Kate Rubins. The new Heka camera, we'll be seeing those again in the near future. Also, the two spacewalking astronauts today, Kate Rubins and Victor Glover, are both part of the Artemis team. They're part of a crew of 18 astronauts selected to help pave the way for the next astronaut missions to and around the moon as part of the Artemis program. Repressurization has reached 5 pounds per square inch. We'll just hold here for a second, make sure it's holding pressure before resuming up to equalize with the International Space Station, which is a little bit more than 14 pounds per square inch. We'll continue to provide coverage throughout the duration of this repressurization sequence. The hatch will open and we'll bring both of our astronauts inside, and we'll continue our coverage until they start doffing their suits, taking off their helmets and gloves, and concluding today's coverage of the EVA 71.
Houston Station on 1, step 7. The P1 is 258.
Copy 258, Sweetie. Sweetie, are we still going to ground?
Yeah.
Are we still going from the crew lock down to the ground?
You're still hot bike.
Nana, good to hear your voice.
Hey, Kate, great to hear yours, too. Nice job today. You guys crushed it.
I was going to have Sweetie tell you hi for us if we were.
Thanks, Nana.
Houston Station on 1, step 7. P2 is also 258. We're going to proceed to step 8.
We copy and concur.
Okay, EV1, EV2, check. Glove heaters, OFF.
EV1, OFF.
V2.
And EV1, EV2, check gloves for contamination.
EV1, no contamination on gloves.
V2 negative.
Okay, and there was warning. I assume there's no cough symptoms today?
That's correct, no cough symptoms.
Great. Next is action. EV1, EV2, O2 act to IV.
Work. EV1, IV.
EV2 IV.
Copy. Next, we're going to bring the equalization to norm, but initially we start from the slower rate, if
Thank
you guys
you.
are okay.
That's good.
That sound you're hearing now is the resuming of repressurization. We had a good hold at 5 psi, did a leak check, and everything looked good. We're now resuming that repressurization back up to equalize with the International Space Station, just about above 14 psi. We're now passing 6.5 psi. Repressurization is still looking good. We're a little more than 12 psi at this point. We're heading just above 14.
And for Suichi in Houston, I am only hearing breaking Vox audio side tones in my right ear. Ear block's pretty much resolved, and so I do think ComCap left ear is down.
Copy.
And we copy.
And the EB1, EB2, let me know if you hear the alert tone for the DPDT close to 0.
Okay, check your box.
Sorry, Ike, say again?
They're good. It was your broken box.
Gotcha.
Houston Station on 1, looks like the pressure is equalized. With your go, we will move on to the 1.240 EDA.
Copy, and we are go for that.
EB2, we're going to open the hatch per decal.
Copy.
EB2.
All right, pressure is equalized on the other side of the hatch, just a little bit more than 14 psi. Soichi Noguchi going to work the hatch opening procedures. He'll then bring both Rubens and Glover back into the positions we saw them in at the beginning of the spacewalk on either side, the left and the right of this equipment lock, and start doffing or taking off the suits. Another handover of our satellite coverage providing video feeds from the International Space Station. In the meantime, the crew aboard will continue to work through the procedures to get both of the crew members, Kate Rubens and Victor Glover, back inside the equipment lock, back inside the International Space Station, and begin taking off or doffing their suits, the helmets, the gloves, and give them the much-needed break after a 7-hour and 4-minute spacewalk. The teams that you're seeing here in the International Space Station Flight Control Room have been watching throughout the duration of today's spacewalk, coming in at the beginning of the Orbit 2 shift, led by Flight Director Marcos Flores. Teams here will continue to remain on console through some of the next procedures. We'll continue to provide coverage until we start seeing the doffing of both of the crew member suits. The helmets come off, and we'll go ahead and wrap up our coverage.
And my FCU was routed differently. I think you may want to turn me that way.
Airlock station on 1 when convenient. Just so you know, we had a brief handover, and now we are down KU, so we're not seeing what y'all are doing. Let us know if you're ready for our step 4.
Hey, Houston Station 1, please take care of a step 4. We are now moving into the safe slot.
Can you see my FCU routing, what I was talking about? I can't tell which way it should go.
Copy, Sweetie.
Okay.
Now we're gaining some of those views from the International Space Station. After a short handover, you can already see Victor Glover is already inside the equipment lock, and that safer unit, simplified aid for EVA rescue, is already off.
On 1, no response required. The crew is no longer hot mic to the ground.
That simplified aid for EVA rescue, the safer unit, provides propulsion should the astronauts become untethered during today's spacewalk. But as you all tuned in, you notice the tether checks throughout the duration of the spacewalk to maintain that connection to the International Space Station. Saver was not needed, but can be used as an extra precaution. With the safer unit removed and stowed, they'll connect Glover to one of the wall units there and begin doffing the suit. That includes taking off the helmet and gloves. And they'll repeat the same steps for Rubens. First removing her safer unit and stowing it, and then begin doffing her suit. Today's 7-hour and 4-minute spacewalk included the installation of a modification kit to the 2B power channel. This is the power channel that faces the Earth on the far port side of the International Space Station. That modification kit meant to very soon...
Out of your space.
Noguchi just communicating to Rubens that his next steps will be to remove her safer unit. But of course, today's 7-hour, 4-minute spacewalk included the installation of that modification kit. It will eventually house solar arrays that'll be installed later this year on the 2 channels that our crew members worked on today. They, of course, completed the 2B power channel. They may readdress some components of that channel on later spacewalk, but the modification kit itself is structurally sound and in a safe configuration. The 4B power channel, they got started by building the first element of the modification kit, the upper triangle. This is the bracket that goes at the very top of the configuration towards the top of the mast canister that deployed the original solar arrays. Rubens is scheduled to continue that work next Friday. You see Shuichi Noguchi on the left there, who's the suit IV, the lead for walking our astronauts through the depressurization and now just recently repressurization sequences. Of course, Mike Hopkins off to the right helping him. And some of the Russian cosmonaut colleagues are coming in the back there. You can see helping Shuichi Noguchi stow that safer unit off of Kate Rubens' suit. Kate Rubens being the astronaut in the suit with the red stripes. We also were able to see some of the first high-definition views from a space station, from a spacesuit today. Using that new Heka camera, you can see mounted on the left from our view here of Kate Rubens' suit. Sergei Kudzverchkov coming into frame on the left there. Russian cosmonaut that flew with Kate Rubins on the Soyuz to the International Space Station. Taking some photos as Soichi Noguchi there, the lead suit IV, works with Mike Hopkins in the background there. Both working to remove the tools and tethers that our two spacewalking astronauts used throughout the duration of today's spacewalk. And again, they'll continue to doff or remove the suits, including the helmets and gloves. We'll continue to provide coverage throughout that process.
I'm gonna pop your well.
Another handover between satellites, providing video from the International Space Station. You saw Victor Glover's helmet and gloves are off. Noguchi and Mike Hopkins will continue to work on Kate Rubins' suit, doing the same, removing her tethers and tools, and then eventually her helmet and gloves. After that, we'll conclude today's spacewalk coverage.
You want to put the O2 off and okay.
As we near the end of today's coverage of this spacewalk to install the first modification kit on one of the station's solar panels, that is the first of 6 planned modification kits. This is in preparation for some of the upcoming solar arrays. There will be a set of 6 arrays that will be mounted in front of some of the existing arrays and simply augment the power and continue to provide power for the research and commercial activities planned aboard the International Space Station for years to come. And now, as we near the conclusion of our coverage, we do have more for you to tune into on NASA TV. Tomorrow, we will conduct a series of briefings to preview some of the upcoming activities for the next SpaceX Crew rotation mission. This is NASA's SpaceX Crew 2 mission. Aboard is NASA's Shane Kimbrough and Megan MacArthur, Aki Hoshide of JAXA, and Thomas Pesquet of the European Space Agency, ESA. We'll have a series of briefings starting at 11:30 a.m. Central Time, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. First is an overview of the Crew 2 mission with a few of our directors representing our various agencies as well as SpaceX. And then we'll have a chance to speak with that crew, Crew 2, at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, the Crew News Conference. Again, Shane Kimbrough, Megan MacArthur, Aki Hoshide, and Thomas Pesquet. We'll then have a series of round-robin interviews in the afternoon starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern throughout the remainder of the day. Then, of course, this spacewalk is set up for the next upcoming spacewalk. We did a little bit of the work on the 4B channel, of course, completing the 2B channel. But we started that upper triangle bracket, and Kate Rubins will go out the hatch and finish some of that work, this time with Soichi Noguchi, who's currently helping to remove the gloves and eventually the helmet of Kate Rubins. That's scheduled for Friday, March 5th, and the coverage for that will start 1 hour later at 4 a.m. Central Time, 4:30 rather, a.m. Central Time, 5:30 a.m. Eastern. Now again, that will be to finish the installation of the modification kit. The tasks for that spacewalk are set to look somewhat identical to what we just saw today. They may even squeeze in a few other tasks. And of course, March 5th, or perhaps a spacewalk in the future after March 5th, the crew may address some of the work done on the 2B power channel today. Soichi Noguchi and Mike Hopkins will continue to work with Victor Glover off to the left and Kate Rubins, who successfully conducted a 7-hour and 4-minute spacewalk today, installing the modification kit on the 2B power channel in preparation for some future upgrades. New solar arrays are coming to the International Space Station. With their helmets off and the suit doffing continuing, we'll go ahead and wrap up our coverage for today. Of course, tune in to the next spacewalk next Friday. Until then, this is Mission Control, Houston.